A famed investigative reporter has added to the growing speculation that Jeffrey Epstein's death was no suicide, and he has proof. Okay. Author and historian Andrew Lowney told RadarOnline.com he has personally seen internal FBI correspondence stating that another inmate actually killed the notorious sex offender. Now, for full transparency, Jeffrey Epstein did have a cellmate for a period of time, but that cellmate was moved days before his death. The former cellmate was a former police officer who was convicted of murdering, I believe, four gentlemen. So there's that. The long-standing story is that Epstein hanged himself in his prison cell in 2019 as he was awaiting trial on sex trafficking charges. And also keep in mind, this was his second attempt that we know of. But Lowney, who has dug up dirt on the royal family, the former Prince Andrew, and others, claims that Epstein was murdered by a fellow convict who was brought in to do this by the FBI. Why not just use his former cellmate that was already doing life? While the murder was staged to look like a suicide, Lowney said there are too many loose ends, like how this mythical person got in and out in a matter of seconds after committing this crime. You've got lawyers saying Epstein was not in a suicidal mood. You've got other prisoners saying it's very difficult to commit suicide in prison. You've got clearly the guards falling asleep at the right time. You've got the cameras not working, he said. So there's a lot of unanswered questions around the death, which a lot of people have long suspected was not suicide. Unpopular opinion. I think this conspiracy theory around Epstein is more to keep people from focusing on Ghislaine Maxwell. They need everybody to believe that he is the ringleader. Well, was the ringleader. Because, yeah. And we need to not forget what we have learned along the way in years and other people's suicides. That there are times you can't tell that they're suffering or that they're having those thoughts. I myself, as someone who has survived more than one attempt, everyone around me at those times were shocked because I didn't show signs of having those ideations. So just keep that in mind. Lowney claims to know who the killer is, but cannot yet reveal the identity for fear of retribution. It is amazing how everybody will give us all this detailed information, but then stop short of giving a name or showing proof because of fear of retribution. Why are you attaching your name to it? They can just look you up and find you if they wanted to take you out. This is getting ridiculous. You all need to find better ways of becoming notable. Lowney isn't the only one to suggest Epstein was murdered. Even his lover and fixer, Ghislaine Maxwell, is convinced he was targeted behind bars. And let's not forget, she's a quack job conspiracy theorist, and she's a liar, and she needs to downplay her role in all of this so she can have some sympathy for being a woman and appear to be slightly one of his victims. Because let us not forget, she's trying to get out of prison. But it's her name that everybody seems to be either afraid to say or they all seem to be forced into saying something nice about. But just days before Epstein was found dead in his cell, he had been taken off suicide watch by a doctor-level psychologist, the Department of Justice said in a letter to Congress, but I thought he wasn't suicidal. You all want to believe that Jeffrey Epstein had more influence than what he did. You feel the need to believe that he was atop the food chain for all of this because you're not ready to fully accept that a woman can be a monster. I need you all to pay attention to who is truly getting preferential treatment here and who's upset that they weren't the one offered the sweetheart deal. I need you to think about who no one will ever say a bad word about. I need you all to also remember that before Epstein knew Trump, Trump knew Maxwell. But as always, let me know your thoughts in the comment section.